Hello. This is the animated news from the cruise industry this week, April 9th, 2011. I'm not real, but the news and our sponsor, Cruise News Daily, are. Okay, here we go. This was a week of quite a few deployment announcements. In C&D we detailed them and discussed how they were trending and what it means. In 2012, Disney will be sailing from 3 new home ports. In addition to their traditional programs sailing out of Port Canaveral, now with their new ships, Disney will now home port ships at New York, Galveston and Seattle. Besides those programs, Disney will also test the waters in the Los Angeles to Hawaii market. It wasn't good news for Alaska this week as Holland America, Disney, Royal Caribbean and Celebrity announced their 2012 deployments. None of the lines will increase the number of ships deployed to Alaska, but Holland America lengthened their season slightly for a small net increase in the number of passengers they will potentially bring to the state. Earlier Princess announced they would increase their Alaskan fleet by 1 ship in 2012, but both Crystal and Oceania, who added Alaska to their destinations this year, didn't have Alaska on their schedules for next year. Cruise lines have been reducing capacity in Alaska over the last several years, citing the high cost of doing business there, the highest in the world. Responding to customer demand, Celebrity Cruises says they have scheduled their first ever program in Asia during the winter of 2012 and 13 with Celebrity Millennium. Most of the sailings will operate one way between Singapore and Hong Kong. They will be bookended by 2 trans-Pacific crossings. Celebrity also set their 2012 and 13 Caribbean programs. They will have their 4 newest Solstice-class ships there plus 2 Solstice-sized Millennium-class vessels. They will have 3 home ports, Miami, Fort Lauderdale and San Juan. Itineraries will range from 4 to 14 days. Celebrity seems to be abandoning the New York Caribbean market after only 1 year there. Those are the top stories of the week. The complete detailed stories and perspective on them were delivered to C&D subscribers daily via email. The daily emails this week also covered such stories as the FBI arresting a 19-year-old man in Alabama Wednesday on a charge of sexually assaulting a minor aboard Carnival Elation. Both were passengers on the March 3rd sailing. Royal Caribbean talks about how Oasis and Allure of the Seas are commanding premiums over the rest of their fleet. But they may not be selling well across all categories. This week Royal Caribbean offered a promotional rate for families booking multiple cabins in standard balcony classes during the peak summer months when capacity in the Caribbean is already reduced. That would indicate they have a glut of space in the mid-range categories, but the top categories are selling to people who don't care what it costs. Sales of the lower categories are probably strong with people who would normally book the mid-range categories but are downgrading to keep the pricing in the range they normally pay, because as Royal Caribbean often points out, they are able to keep the price of those 2 ships selling above the rest of the fleet. Hence, they're having a lot of space in the mid-range that they have to figure out how to sell. Costa Cruises announced their newest flagship, Costa Favolosa, will be named in Trieste on July 2nd. At 114,500 gross tons, it will be the largest vessel flying the Italian flag. Those are the top stories of the week and other things you'll want to know from the cruise industry. Our daily emails to subscribers also covered 19 other stories. Headlines are on our website at www.cruisenewsdaily.com. I'll be back next week with more news from Cruise News Daily. So long. Yeah, Carl, I'm waiting on a call from my agent. With Katie leaving, that gig at CBS is opening up and he says,